Hello, Green Team. We are on the final part 6 of securing a listing. We have already got our signed listing docs. We have finished our step 2 of our listing presentation, and we just have the work to get done to do between the signed docs and actually posting the property on the MLS. So that's what we're going over today. Again, we're on part 6 of securing a listing, executing a pre-listing plan. So there's 5 steps here. First, scheduling photos, then ordering just listed mailers, entering the listing in the MLS, adding photos and supplements, and then posting the listing as coming soon. So first off, one of the first things you want to do is schedule photos. Because sometimes these timelines are tricky, we want to work out a time that works for both our sellers and the photographers. You are welcome to use any professional photographer that you would like. We will pay half of the price, up to $100 for your photos. Most of our agents use Open House OK, but you're welcome to use any professional photographer that you would like. And again, if you use Open House OK, they will bill our office directly, and then Sherry will bill you half of the price. If you use another photographer, we can work out the invoicing process, but basically they'll invoice Sherry, she'll pay for them, and then she'll invoice you for half of them. So the key for scheduling photos is just getting on the phone as quickly as possible and getting it scheduled so that everyone's on the same page for when we're coming into the house. Once you've got photos scheduled, it's time to order your just listed mailers. So hopefully you took a nice photo outside of the property while you were at the house. And if you did, real quick, I want to show openhouseok.com. This is their website. If you need their contact info, it's down here in the bottom corner. You can always just go to openhouseok.com, and you'll see they also post the listings on their website that they take photos of. So they'll ask you for some of this info when you call them to ask them to take photos for you. Next up are just listed mailers. So what you want to do is you want to come into your Weichert iMail. So you can go to weichertimail.com, and it'll look just like this. You want to do your auto mail. And down here at the bottom, you can see on-demand direct mail. There's just listed postcards. We're going to start our order. This is real easy stuff. I recommend this one bar down here, but you can use whatever you like, whatever you feel best about. You can either put your photo or not put your photo. Just listed, you put in the property address, a little description about the property, your name and info, and then you add your property photo image, and it'll pop up right here. Once you have that done, let me see if it'll let me go to the next step. No, it's going to make me put a property photo. Give me 1 second. I will grab a random property photo. Some house. There we go. So you put in your property photo, put in your info about the house. And all we're going to do is we're going to ship this out to the neighborhood. So I recommend at least doing 50 houses next to it. Some people go a little above that, but I think at least 50 is a good amount to get it out to 50 of their neighbors. And you want to send it to your seller's house because it's one of the things that's going to show what you're doing to market their property. A lot of times when I have sellers, I see them use these flyers and actually put it on their refrigerator while I'm doing open houses and things. I actually see it there. And it shows me that they actually care about that and showing what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put real quick so it doesn't stop me again. A little address in there. You can even spell check. I'm going to preview it. So it'll give me my preview, which we can look at real quick. Hopefully. So my preview is right here. And you'll see it's just that house photo with the one bar on the bottom. Like so. It says just listed, has my info over here, and this is where the description of the property would go if you had typed it. So boom, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to ship them out. I'm going to continue. Test. And so it's preparing it for order. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick my neighborhood. I'm gonna show you guys a real quick way to do that. It's so easy. The hard part of this is just this wheel. The other thing is when you list a new property, you'll get an email that says, hey, we'll send them out for you if you'd like. You can do a one click and send those out. The positive of doing it this way is you get them out faster because I'm actually going to order them before the property hits the market so that it hits closer to when the property actually hits the market. So I'm just going to create a geographic area, map mail. And let's say I'm doing this neighborhood over by our office. So all I got to do is drag my little arrows around here. So let's say the house is over here. I'm doing this street. And I'm gonna come through here. Actually, I'm getting this whole neighborhood. So I'm gonna come up here. So you guys, this is pretty intuitive. You just kind of drag your arrows around your neighborhood. And you can also delete those by double clicking on them. And it'll ask you if you actually want to delete them. But you draw your little area. So say that's my area and I want to click max quantity 50. I'm just going to refresh and it'll show me 50 addresses around that house. So you draw up your neighborhood, you put your amount in, you hit refresh addresses, and then boom, we're ready to save the name of the neighborhood and order them. So that's a really easy way to order just listed mailers. You guys can figure that out. I recommend doing that about 2 days before you list it. Again, if you use this marketing plan here, this actually says 1 day before, which is great. Order your just listed mailers so it hits the day after. So hopefully people will start getting them in the mail maybe a couple days after. That's what we're working on today is all these minuses, all the stuff before we actually post it in the MLS. So we ordered our photos, we did the photo shoot, we ordered our just listed mailers. And now we're going to post our social media content announcing listings coming soon. So if you use this order, you can actually coordinate the photo shoot 2 days before and get a photo from their professional photos to use your just listed mailer that you order 1 day before you actually list it. Also, we have this professional photos that we can now start using for our coming soon posting on social media. So let's go through. We've ordered our just listed mailers. We also could start posting our social media content as coming soon. And send it out to our offices coming soon with those photos that we just got. But the real fun part now is we've got to get this thing entered into the MLS. So I'm going to take you guys through that now. So first off, I just picked this random property in Realist. As you see here, 313 Tecumseh Meadows Drive. I don't know anything about it or any reason that I picked this, just random. But I'm going to show you guys if I was about to list this property, how I would do it in the MLS. So I'm going to go over to my MLS. This is your normal dashboard and I'm gonna click add edit. This will look slightly different for you guys because you don't have broker access, but you'll still have this add new up here. And you're just gonna go to residential add edit. This is the hard part. We wanna make sure we find the right property. First off, you've gotta get the right county. So if you go into your real list, you'll see here at the top what county we're in. So I'm gonna click Cleveland. And then I'm gonna put my tax ID number because that's usually the best way to find a property. So I'm gonna scroll down here to tax ID, copy it, come back over here, paste it in my tax ID, and I'm gonna search for the property. Boom, found it, 313 Tecumseh Meadows. I'm gonna fill, which will autofill a bunch of stuff for me. And now I'm ready to start entering everything in the listing. This is where some people get stuck because it says either active or coming soon. The question it's asking you is, are you posting this as a coming soon, which means you're posting it 1 day before it goes active, or are you posting it active, ready to go when you hit submit? So if you do a coming soon, you want to put the on market date to be 1 day out from whatever your coming soon date is that you're posting it. And if it's an active listing that you're just making it active immediately, you can see here it says leave it empty, leave empty your on market date. So that just depends how you're listing it. If you're listing it coming soon, you need to make sure you put your on market date in here. You actually go through this by clicking these top lines. So next we'll go to address information. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to status. So coming soon, I would put a date in here. I'm just not gonna do that for now. But if it's yellow in this where you're entering stuff, you have to fill it out. It will not let you actually post this in the MLS till you fill out all your yellow spots. So direction is my first one I got here. I don't have a direction in my address. So I just come up here to none. Street type, so that says Tecumseh Meadows. I can see it's a drive. This is important, guys. If you will follow these abbreviations and the street types, it will help you stay less confused when you're looking at addresses. And it helps other realtors out too. So I'm gonna scroll down to my drive right there. City, Norman County. Again, this is Cleveland. And they make you select it here. If you notice this isn't populating, it's probably because you're not actually clicking it. It's one of the annoying spots that it makes you do that. Now I need a lot and block number. If I go to my real list, I should be able to find that. Lot 12, block 1. Lot 12, block 1. I've already got my assessor's account number. I need to get the Latin long so that it can map the property. If you click get Latin long from address, most of the time it'll be able to find it. If it can't find it, you can drag and drop and update it manually. But look, it already found it automatically for me, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna put in my list price here, my list type. This should always be exclusive right to sell. If you think it's not exclusive right to sell, come talk to me or Trent and we will help guide you in what it needs to be, but it should always be exclusive right to sell. I'm gonna put my list date. Again, the list date is super important. This is the date that we're actually listing the property. So don't put it too early because it'll show us multiple extra days on the market that you don't want to be showing. The expiration date is when it should come off the MLS. So make sure you have those dates right. Property subtype, just very simple, single family, half duplex, condominium. This is a single family. Directions, again, we've talked about this, but always start from a major intersection. So here my major intersection is Tecumseh and Porter, and then I'm going to give directions using east and west, left and rights together to tell people how to get to this property. So make sure you're doing directions properly. General info, beds, baths, you guys can enter this stuff in. Not too worried about it. There is some info in here on homestead. This is asking if it has a homestead exemption or not. You can ask your sellers if it is or not. Reserved items are, or res items are reserved items, which means like they're keeping a chandelier in the kitchen or something like that. That's where you would mark that. Year built, roof, all that info is in here. You guys can figure that out. School district, it will make you enter this. So they're yellow boxes. You've got to have the right schools in here. If you don't know them, talk to your sellers and then you can do a little research. You can figure them out. Association fees go in here, whether it's a special zoning district, goes in here also, and association fee. And it's always annual is what it's based off of. Your HOA fee should be an annual number that you're putting in here. Public remarks are all the things that you're going to say about the house to make people really want it and want to buy it. So that's your job to make that sound awesome. These are things that don't get enough time spent on them and make all the difference. Keep in mind, all of our 400 plus real estate websites that we're publishing to will have your public remarks in them. So make sure you've got really good public remarks and make sure you're not violating any laws with your public remarks. Realtor remarks only get seen by realtors. They don't go to public real estate websites. So make sure if you're putting something in there, you don't want the public to know, or it's not meant for the public, but it's a realtor remark. Maybe it's like lock boxes on around the side of the house. Sorry, that's the only spot I could find or something like that. That goes to the realtor. Make sure you've got them separated properly here. Again, public remarks is a yellow box. Next up, room info. You can just put in the basics here. If you want, you can go room by room and get really, really detailed. Totally up to you if you want to do that. Make sure you're filling in the yellow boxes. It'll make you. Features, again, you have to fill in the yellow boxes, but the white boxes, you can go through as many of them as you want. The more info, usually the better. Just make sure it's accurate. And then finally, listing office and financial info. Here's where you'll make sure that your info is up here. VAR dual rate is important, and not a lot of people understand what it actually means. VAR dual rate means, do you as the listing agent get paid a different amount if you bring the buyers to the property? If you write the offer, if you're getting both sides of the deal, have you agreed upon a lower price commission? So if you have to mark it here or a complaint could be filed against you. So you need to make sure that you mark that properly. Realtors need to know if it's a VAR dual rate or if it's the same rate, whether you bring the buyer or you don't bring the buyer, because that has an effect on the seller's bottom line. So you have to mark it here. Comp to selling broker should be 3.0, or you can put 3 with a percentage sign, just like that. Occupied, yes, no, service type, lockbox. You're going to put MLS key, which just means a blue box. And then any secure showing instructions, which means what people get when they schedule a showing, showing instructions for them. Internet listing, yes, it's an internet listing. Yes, we want the address on the internet. We don't want advanced media, and we don't want third-party comments on it. So usually yes, yes, no, no here. If you have questions, you can talk to me about it. Tax amount should come from Realist. Assumable, is just based off of whether this loan's assumable. In general, I would say unknown is the safest answer to put there. Also, or no with assumable, sorry, no is probably the safest answer because most loans, we don't do assumable loans anymore very often. Loan qualify, unknown's a pretty safe answer. If you're really confident, you can put yes there. Possession should always be at funding. That's when they get the houses, when the funding comes through at closing. Terms of sale, you can put if there's a specific type of sale that needs to happen, or any conditions affecting sale, like a kick out, court approval, things like that. This is all your info you got to get in here. And then you can save as incomplete if you get most of it done and maybe you have a couple things you got to go back and do. You can save it as incomplete. You can also click validate, which will tell you all the things that you've missed or messed up before you submit, so you can go and correct those items before you try to submit it and make it live. For now, I'm going to save as, and then when you're making it live and you're ready to put this on the MLS, you'll click submit listing. And as long as you've validated and gotten all the yellow boxes filled out correctly, it'll make it live and tell you an actual MLS number. So I'm going to save as incomplete. And then I'm going to just show you, if I had my photos ready to go, I would click add edit photos. I'd browse my, I would browse my photos and upload them right here. You can upload up to 36 photos and you can drag and drop them and put them in any order you want. Keep in mind the first photo, the default image, has to be the front of the house and identify the property so that realtors understand what house they're pulling up to. Also keep in mind you can't steal photos that you're presenting. They need to be your photos that you're using. So this is where you'll upload all your photos. Once you're done, you'll certify and save. I'm going to cancel out of that for now. And then edit supplements. You have to upload a property condition disclosure, exclaimer, or disclaimer to make a listing active. So to do that, you'll just come in here, you'll choose file. I'll just grab a random PDF for now. And you'll put like property condition disclosure. You can see some of my names that I've used up here. And then you'll mark it as a disclosure. You can also put in a lead-based paint disclosure, maybe a past appraisal, a floor plan, any of that info that you think might be valuable that might help sell the home that the seller has approved you to post and make public. You should put in here. The more supplements you have, usually the more info, which helps sell the house better. So get the info in here as long as the sellers are good with it. Once you've added your info, your photos, and your supplements, you're ready to make your listing active. So you come in on the day and you tell your sellers, hey, we're going to go active at this time. Boom, submit listing. It's live. It's going to take a little while to get to all of our syndicated websites, a few hours, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. But it'll get to all our syndicated websites, and then your sellers will see it. And as soon as it goes live here, you can actually send a confirmation to your sellers that it's live and send them the MLS printout or the link to the portal or something like that. So boom, we have gone from the first phone call of someone wanting you to come look at their house to potentially sell it, all the way to the point where we're actually making it active in the MLS. Our next series will go over how to actually sell the house so that you can get paid at closing. Hope everyone enjoyed it. See you guys in the next series.